Hey folks, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. Hanging out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy's Ted.
And today we have a bit of a review from you, The Wyestone Horror from Critical Hits Publishing.
Jump down to the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy the newsletter, get weekly gaming tips, as well as learn how to game with us.
Alright, so we have The Wyestone Horror. We're going to jump into that and kind of go over what you guys get. But before we do, we should probably go into the credits. And we've got on writing, Rob Davis, Alex Gillette, Devay Breon Jackson, editing, Doug Vahovic, and art and layout by Alex Gillette.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to wind up getting into is a whole bunch of magic items that are really part and parcel into what this horror, this tower is all about. And there's some really cool things. It's pretty much a cursed magic item that's a collar. It's designed to pull things back to whoever's got the device. You get a variety of different awesome potions that can be used. Potion of borrowed health, potion of eyes, potion of sea invisibility, potion of spider climb. Fun things to be had.
Now, I would say that collar is not necessarily a cursed item. It's just not beneficial to the one wearing it.
Well,
It's, cursed items tend to be tricks or traps or accidents, where this is very intentional. The creature wearing it may not want it, but the person that put it on them probably wants it there. There's also a Rod of Animal Friendship and Sickle of Lightning.
Now, the cool thing about the Rod of Animal Friendship is it actually goes against a little bit of the norm of what we see for things with animals, because it works on beasts and monstrosities. So I thought that was a cool twist.
Now, we also get some new monsters in here. We've got a Timberwolf, we've got a Brown Bear Invisible, Rust Monster Invisible, some variations on some things you're kind of used to, and we also have a mutated troll.
Now, the cool thing about the invisible things, it's essentially like an animal that's under effect of a permanent greater invisibility. So there's no turning back to, I can see it once it makes its attacks. So there's a lot of interesting applications that can be used with those two creatures, as well as anything else that you might be inspired by, within this, product.
Yeah, or maybe it'll inspire you, instead of a Brown Bear Invisible, to make a Brown Bear Flying. And later on, there's reasons why they're invisible, which we'll get into. Now, the mutated troll is really cool. Yeah, it's similar to your standard troll, except for it's been experimented on extensively, giving it special abilities that kind of happen.
Pretty much every round you make a roll to determine what mutation is going to become visible or usable for that particular round. So it could be enlarged, it could be invisible, it could produce a thunder wave, a shocking grasp, as well as a variety of other awesome effects. So to have a troll, which is already a threat for low-level monsters, to low-level adventurers, but to then add these other things on top of it, it just makes it disgusting.
Yeah, and also the picture for the troll, he's pretty gnarly looking as well, as you can see. Now, that being said, not only is it a new monster, the mutated troll, but it is a specific mutated troll that's, takes place in this kind of adventure. And, the thing about him, he's got a little bit of a problem. He's kind of addicted to potions.
Which is a lot of fun, because later on in the adventure, where there's a variety of potions to be had, it only makes the mutations that much more crazy and can really add some hilarity to your adventure.
Now, the next section is basically the Wyestone Village. It gives you a write-up on a brief write-up on about a dozen NPCs you can insert right in your game. Now, they're not statted NPCs, but they have the general for if you want to use them to role play and enhance the session. And then it kind of goes into what are some of the things going on in the village, some of the locations. You're also going to get some plot hooks. You're going to get some locations that are in Wyestone, but also around Wyestone.
So for your townsfolk, you could just take your generic stat block for a villager or townsfolk and tweak your stats if you really feel the need to have a stat block for them. But it gives a pretty good description of who they are, what their inclinations are. So it's a really useful tool to be able to, like, hey, here's a town, here's a whole bunch of people that you can use to socially interact with.
Yeah, and then beyond that, like the areas you get all kinds of like the third pillar gets explored a little bit, which is the exploration pillar of hazards and cool things that are going to happen.
So as we get further into the document, we actually get into what the real adventure is, and when you get into it, you actually have a cool tower that is a lighthouse, and you can see that here. And if you just go up the 5 floors, it looks like any old lighthouse. And, I can go out and see the vast lake that's beyond. It's more like an ocean than it is a lake. But if you explore further below, you'll find out that this, crazy wizard was experimenting on creatures. And you can get into his lab, and, the apothecary. You get to see, these animals that are in cages. You get to see the results of his work and the real bread and butter of the potions.
Right, and how the potions kind of interact in ways that you probably aren't expecting from in the adventure and from the magic items. And with certain monsters, we don't get into too much of it, so we don't spoil it. Now, the next question is, I guess, where can you get this? Well, this is actually an exclusive Patreon reward that was done for us by Critical Hit Publishing. They put it together. They did a great job. Next month, if you're a patron of us, you're going to receive this, and it's going to be broken down into the 5 different categories, which for us is, the Mage for Monster Menagerie,
Friend or Foe, Terrible Terrain, and if you want it all, that's the Lost Lore. So, getting into the Patreon is a way of supporting us and helping us continue to do our videos, get better equipment, and all of that jazz. But at the same time, we want to be able to thank you guys, so we put this together every single month. We've changed our Patreon to get more professional writing to be a part of this, which is what we're doing here, which is why it's Critical Hit Publishing as the bread and butter of it all.
That being said, it was actually spawned by a Nerdarchy video, because that's what we do. We send out a video, and that one was on our mutated troll, and we came up with some ideas, and Critical Hit Publishing flushed them out for us and put them in written format so that now we can deliver them to you as our rewards. We hope you enjoy what they've done. I know we did. It's completely different than any of the other rewards we've done previously, and that's the cool thing, and that's why we like using different writers, and we're going to continue doing that. But if you have any questions, any commentary, you have something you want to tell us, we got a place where you can do that and discuss with us down in the comments below. While you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
You can check us out over on the website, nerdarchy.com.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.